For those of you who naively believe that uplifting black men means uplifting the black community, that a win for black men is a win for us all, except it isn't. According to Pew Research Center, more than 30% of black men with a college degree who were married in the last 5 years are married to non-black women. That number is expected to grow, by the way. And black men who earn more than $100,000 a year, the supposedly high-value black men, are the least likely of their peers to get married, and the least likely of all black men to marry a black woman. The truth is that the more likely a black man is to succeed, the less likely he is to uplift a black woman to be beside him. But you should have already known that.
And when he get on, he leave your ass for a white girl.
And when black men enter positions of power, especially in media and entertainment, their first target tends to be you. It's a hard pill to swallow when you realize that you exalted these men and they paid you dust, but it's what happens when your absolute loyalty comes at a price of nothing. Let's talk desirability politics for 2 seconds, shall we? Black women aren't at the top of anyone's list of desirable partners, not even at the top of black men's lists, according to some research. Why is that? Why is your image less than desirable? If you didn't know yourself and you saw the images of you that are out there, would you think that you're desirable? If you didn't know yourself and you saw the images of you that are out there, would you think that you're desirable? Not so much. But who's creating these images? Here's a hint. It's not you. Black women have never been in a power position to create their own image and present it to the world. They have only been able to replicate an image that was created for them, if they wanted to work in that business. For years, black men have been pointing out that Halle Berry performed in dozens of great roles, but had to be ravaged by a redneck white supremacist on camera in order to get an Oscar. So, if the importance of image is a concept that black men clearly understand, why is it that when black men get a chance to make a film or music video, they do their women like this?
Don't get smart with me, because I'll knock your ass in the middle of next week.
And this. And this.
Give me my say!
Perhaps they feel as though only they should be allowed to defile your likeness in front of the rest of the world. In the rare times when black women have creative control over the image of black men, I notice that more often than not, they're given the opportunity to be three-dimensional characters. Their complexities are explored, and at the very least, there's an attempt made to tell their whole story. Unfortunately, you're not being afforded the same grace. There are rarely complex black female characters anywhere in the media, and when men, black men included, create anything for you, they will either make you a ghetto villain, addict, sex object, or a mammy. Those are your options. Ghetto villain, addict, sex object, or mammy. The one-dimensional love interest, that role goes to the preference. But hey, they tell you to support black artists, so you pull up. Black men have been and continue to use black women to build them up, only to abandon you when they succeed. But before they leave on that midnight train to city, they kick dirt on your image to make sure that nobody else will want you when they're gone. Men do this in everyday life because they're generally territorial and sexual competition is important to them, especially black men. And just because they don't think you're worth exalting or protecting doesn't mean they want anyone else to do it for you either. And so here we are, stuck in this toxic limbo where black women can't get any genuine acceptance or love or validation from black men, but they also don't believe they have the freedom to seek it elsewhere. Except you do have the freedom, and the data shows that most of you will be alone if you don't take it. Most black men don't marry black women because most black men don't marry anyone. They just like dangling the carrot. In a patriarchy, in exchange for submission, women get validation and resources from men. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, you don't have the luxury, and so you will have to evolve and learn to validate yourself. You do this through self-care and self-improvement, which is very attractive, by the way. Then you can reclaim your image. Then you can either get the resources yourself or find a man who will provide them for you. Either way is the right way, so long as it's right for you. But there's absolutely no reason to remain in denial of the fact that you've been dumped. And the men are just trying to make sure that you don't move on before they do. Take your power back.